So June is over, Pride Month is over, but now it's July, and it's Disability Pride Month, which I'm also part of that marginalized community as well. I have had chronic migraines since I was about 7 years old. Now they've changed in their form over many years. I used to get migraines where I would get nauseous, like mind splitting, awful, I just ended up in the hospital kind of like just awful, awful migraines. And then as I got older, eventually they turned into more tension headaches with migraines that would no longer cause me to get nauseous and vomit. They were just migraines, that would not relieve themselves. Because when I was a kid, if I would, ended up being sick, they would go away. But that changed as I got older, and then I got the tension headaches. And so years and years of just suffering with that on and off. And eventually, I ended up finding a doctor that specialized in migraines, and I actually was doing really well. At one point, I was about probably 6 months of total relief, but this was well into my 30s by the time I found this doctor and actually started getting relief, because it was screwing with my life. I mean, that was so bad at one point that I was like 5 days a week in bed, like just constant pain, constant pain. So eventually I found this doctor around 2008, and worked with him for quite a while with getting nerve blocks and different medications and supplements and stuff like that. But then I ended up getting fibromyalgia, which brought migraines back, and so I've suffered with that since about 2018, the fibromyalgia. And then on top of that, a couple of years ago, I had my tubes tied because I was like, I'm not having kids. I finally get a doctor that agrees with me that I'm old enough. I mean, I'm in my 40s, for Christ's sakes, that was willing to get a gynecologist for me to do the surgery. And after I had the surgery, I was in the recovery room waking up, and the gynecologist comes in and lets me know everything went really well. And she's like, oh, and by the way, she goes, while we were doing the surgery, we found that you're full of endometriosis. I have had the worst cramping for since I got my period, as when I was like 12, 13, something like that. And went completely undiagnosed. Oh, it's just typical. It's just one of those things that, women deal with. Some have worse cramps than others. Like, I would be doubled over, curled up on the floor at the bottom of the shower in pain, just like puking my guts out. Like, even right now, as I'm sitting here, I've had like cramping for the last couple of days, and I haven't even quite started my period. This is just the beginning of it before it actually comes around, and I've had cramping and migraines, and I've been nauseous. So there you go. Chronic migraines, fibromyalgia, and endometriosis. Like, the world, my body is just against me. So yeah. So I do know what it feels like to be disabled, and it's one of the reasons why I do the work that I do, that I'm a schmex worker, because I can't hold down a normal 9 to 5 job. Any time that I have tried, it just always went badly. I ended up fired or on sick leave or whatever, especially if it was a stressful job. Like, and it wasn't until I started getting treatment that I actually was able to go back to a regular job for a while, at least for the migraines. But once I got the fibromyalgia, like, that was nope. There was just no way I was holding down a regular job. So yeah, I it's one of the reasons why I talk about disability a lot and try to be an advocate for it and stuff, because I'm a part of that marginalized community, and I know what it feels like. Especially to be a woman that deals with chronic pain. It is very tough to find doctors that take you seriously. It shouldn't have taken me into my 30s to find a doctor that finally understood what I was going through and took what I was dealing with seriously. I flat out had doctors that blamed me. I had a doctor that blamed me because I took too much Advil and Tylenol and caused my own stomach problems because now I've had or I've had like long-term acid reflux. And I got blamed by the doctor because I was taking too many medications. And I said, well, you can't figure out why I get migraines. What else am I supposed to do? I had another doctor that after a while just flat out said, I honestly don't know anymore. I don't know what to do for you. She's like, you need to find a specialist. You know, I have had neurologists claim I was faking it because I just didn't want to work. This lovely neurologist also told me that I needed to lose weight. I weighed 130 pounds, and she told me that I should go on a medication. And I said, well, I've been on it before. It causes me to feel dizzy, lightheaded. I can't focus. And she goes, yeah, but that's a small price to pay. She goes, plus, you lose a lot of weight on it. I'm like, I don't need to lose weight. And she goes, well, you should be 115 pounds. While also telling me about how she's had her ribs cracked open for heart surgery and she's fine. She's fine. She works. I'm like, you know, I've heard it all. I've heard it all. And yeah. So it's tough. It's really fucking tough if you don't have a support system through friends and family and doctors. Is really fucking tough. So that's why it's important to, for people to find their community in the disabled community and to reach out and have support systems and have people who understand what you go through. I'm following another creator right now that their whole page is talking about their migraines. And, and I see myself in this person. I see myself in them back in 2008, just in bed all the time, living your life, constant suffering. And, I have told them about nerve blocks, but it sounds like, I don't know, their neurologist isn't maybe the best person. But that's speculation. I don't want to say like, that's their account, but yeah, just it like I said, it's important to find other people. And I have found a few people on here, but I hope to find more. Because I think it's good to find other people that deal with your disability types, and so you can swap ideas and stories and methods. Like, I've learned some pretty cool stuff from other people that have had fibromyalgia or migraines that have helped me, and I hope to pass it on to other people. I'm going to try and talk about it a little bit more this month since it's Disability Month. But I have been kind of waiting for stuff to calm down with the drama that's been going on in my life right now. Because I don't feel like it's a good time for me to be extremely open and vulnerable about the stuff that I deal with, with my illnesses. So, but hopefully we'll get there. But, yeah, just know that if you are disabled, if you're suffering with chronic pain, chronic illnesses, you're not alone. It's the great thing about the internet is that you can always find other people that are going through what you're going through and understand what you're going through.